I'm Yellowbird, Yellow Bill, and this is Resiliency with Yellowbird. This is the final part. We're just going to review everything and then go give a brief overview of the boot camp. If you missed anything, you can go ahead and go back and look at my previous videos in the Futures Psychology page, or channel rather, and go over all my videos and the homework and everything like that. All right, so resiliency. It is the ability to grow and thrive in the face of challenges and bounce from adversity. This includes the 4 pillars of resiliency, which from my first class, if you remember, it was basically a stool with 4 legs, and then you had the 4 pillars: the mental, physical, social, and spiritual. And if you had one of those missing, you know, the stool will kind of still stand. But if you pull 2 of those, that stool is going to fall over. So, but it's best to keep all 4. The mental leg is paying attention to your needs and your feelings, your thoughts, because your thoughts control your energy. All right. And then there's the physical leg, which is the connection between your mind and your body, because strong bodies build strong minds. You have your social leg, which is your interpersonal relationships, which help widen your perceptions and grow character. Then there's a spiritual leg. This isn't like a religion in itself. It's just adhering to beliefs, principles, or values. In resiliency, you have these core competencies, which are self-awareness, self-regulation, optimism, mental agility, strengths of character, and connection. And, you know, your goal setting, your hunting the good stuff, your ATC, all of these other exercises help build on those core competencies. The first core competency was goal setting that we went over. And goals help enhance your performance. Goal setting can produce motivation, direct your attention, increase effort. And because motivation matters. You're more likely to achieve your goals when the motivation comes from within you, and it's tied to a personal value. Self-regulation is the primary goal for goal setting, is the primary target for goal setting. And then we have hunt the good stuff. Hunting the good stuff is based on research done by Martin Siegelman and Robert Emmons. When you hunt the good stuff, you're taking time to notice and reflect on positive experiences in your life. You're building that optimism and positive emotions like gratitude. It counteracts the negative bias that a lot of us have during trading. When we have bad trades and everything like that, we get down on ourselves and everything like that. And when you hunt the good stuff, you're combating that. You're trying to get away from that. And some of the things it could lead to is, you know, not only just good trading, but other things in your life, like better health, better sleeping, feeling calm, lower depression. You'd get more optimal performance in your trading, and you apply this to your regular life, and you could get better relationships and everything. Next, we have ATC. All right. And that is that worksheet that I went over, where you have the action, the thought, and then the consequence. And you are, when you work through that worksheet, you're identifying any patterns in your thoughts that undercut your performance and your mental toughness. Self-awareness is the primary target for ATC. Then we go over energy management. Energy management helps you enhance your control. You can regulate your physical state, your thinking, and emotions to perform at more optimal levels. This increases efficiency with deliberate breathing, which is one of the exercises I went over in energy management, the box breathing and stuff like that. Once again, self-regulation is the primary goal of energy management. We're focusing a lot on self-regulation because that's something you need in trading. Is that self-regulation. We want to be able to effectively utilize, sustain, and restore energy in order to thrive under stressful situations. Because, I mean, we can all sit here and pretend that we're these trading gods and everything like that, and it's so easy and this and that, but it is an extremely stressful situation. You don't have to admit it to anyone, but at least admit it to yourself that it is a stressful deal. Next thing that we went over is avoiding thinking traps. All right. Thinking traps are common. And it's common to fall into a thinking trap, particularly when stressed. They narrow your field of vision. Thinking traps lead us to miss important information. We get stuck on that one trap, and we're focused on that, and we're missing other things. So if you're sitting here going over the last trade that didn't go your way, you're missing the price action. Case in point was today. I fell into a thinking trap. I had a trade break below Globex low. I took a short. It went 10 points. It came back up, hit my stop for break even, and then dumped like 60 points. And then the price action came back up and it touched that level again, which is where I would go short 95% of the time. And in fact, Kobe asked me in the chat, hey, did you take that short? Because it is such a textbook short for me that he knew that was a short I would take. But I was so wrapped around the axle over the previous trade that I completely missed it. And that thing went for, hundreds of points. That thing just went and went. So avoiding thinking traps is another thing that we'll go over. Detecting, thinking traps. One thing they do is you want to notice the patterns. When you do that, you'll see what traps you fall into. And then your mental agility is your primary target for thinking traps. Next, we have detecting icebergs. Icebergs can create thinking traps. That's taking the thinking traps and going a little deeper on it. Sometimes icebergs push us into one or more of our thinking traps. With the detecting icebergs, you're asking what questions and why questions on the worksheet and everything. And your what questions lead to depth and your why questions lead to defensiveness. Detecting icebergs is used to identify and evaluate your core beliefs or values that are driving our emotions and reactions. They're the things like an iceberg, most of it is under the surface. They're the things that are within you that drive your outer state. Next, we have problem solving, which is pretty big. When problem solving, you want to use critical questions to identify causes that you initially missed. You want to avoid the confirmation bias when working on problem solving. It will interfere with accuracy. So you need to work around that confirmation bias. Mental agility, once again, is the primary target for problem solving. Problem solving is used to increase the flexibility and accuracy in thinking about the causes of the problems and to develop effective solutions and strategies. It's used when you are confronted with a situation that requires a thorough understanding of its causes in order to most effectively solve the problem. You use the critical questions from avoiding thinking traps to identify the factors that are causing the problem. And then you use the tips for avoiding your confirmation bias or to gather evidence and determine the accuracy of your thinking. The skill of problem solving, it enhances your mental agility so that you can think flexibly and accurately about what caused the problem itself. By increasing your ability to see problems accurately, you'll improve your problem solving. Next, we have put it in perspective. What this does is, just like the title says, it helps put things into perspective. There's a worksheet that goes over everything, and you go over the worksheet. It's very similar to the ATC worksheet. You describe the activating event, and then you go and you talk about, you generate or capture the worst case, then you make the best case, and then you develop the most likely outcome. And you develop a plan for dealing with all of those cases and the outcome. And then you deal with catastrophizing, which decreases your mental toughness and prevents problem solving. You can stop the catastrophizing by putting it into perspective. This is where you just make a mountain out of a molehill. You just concentrate on something and you fixate on it and you just completely spiral out of control. This catastrophizing, it depletes your energy. It stops your problem solving, and it just generates unneeded and unhelpful anxiety. It helps you get focused on the most likely course of action or the most likely case, and then develop a plan to deal with the situation. Optimism is your primary target for putting it into perspective. Sorry. Then you have mental games. These are techniques that they require a lot of practice to develop, to derive, to get the full benefit. Mental games can be used with other skills in the program. All of these kind of just stack on to each other. You use some of these in other skills in the program and everything like that. Self-regulation is the primary target for mental games. Mental games, it's a skill that takes your mind off of counterproductive thoughts so you can be more productive and focus on the task at hand. An example of one of the mental games is to start at 1,000 or 100 or 1,000 or just any number, and then pick another number, like 7. and you start at 100 and you subtract 7, 93, subtract 7 again, 86, and you just keep going down and down and down all the way. And you, as you're focused on that, that is helping you get your mind off those counterproductive thoughts, and then you can focus on the task at hand. They're just a temporary fix when your thoughts are distracting you from an immediate goal or task. They're not, they're not going to fix the actual problem itself. You have to dig deeper for that, but it's just a quick Band-Aid or a crutch. It's just, the mental games is just playing quick, fun, and challenging games, using techniques that lower your anxiety and promote positive emotion. Next, we have the real-time resiliency. This is where you're going to take a problem and you analyze it, and you use evidence to provide that the thought is false. Like you would say something like, well, I'm never going to be good at trading. Well, you would say to yourself, that's not completely true because I have a successful system that actually works. And then you generate a more optimistic way of seeing it. And then you use the put it into perspective in the real-time resiliency. And then you find your most likely course of action, and you develop a plan around it. Real-time resiliency is something that takes a lot of practice, and you have to do it a lot. When you're working on it, you want to work on accuracy over speed. There are a lot of pitfalls that are common with real-time resiliency, like you make just generic statements and everything, and there's not a lot of thought into it. That's one of the common pitfalls that you work around. We'll go over it more in the boot camp, and if you want to go over it, you can go over it in the previous class. Next, we have identify character strengths in self and others. All right. There's a survey with a link inside of Futures Psychology that you follow the link and you take the survey, and it prints out this thing with 24 character strengths, and it ranks them from top to bottom. And your top couple of them, it's different for each person, whether it's, the top 3 or top 5 or 7 or 4 or whatever. Those are your signature character strengths. Those are the ones that in your core that you're really good at those character strengths. Knowing your character strengths is as important as knowing your weaknesses. All 24 of the character strengths won't be your signature character strengths. Some come easier than others, and that's fine. Like, no one can be good at everything. And then your ones at the bottom, those are your non-signature character strengths. Sometimes they can be turned and worked on and become stronger. So in the boot camp, we're going to start off with the survey. If you took the survey when I did the class, that's fine. A couple of weeks ago when I did the class, that's fine. And then we're going to work on all this resiliency and everything. And then at the end, you're going to take the survey and see how your results have changed within your character strengths. And obviously, character strength is the primary target to identifying character strengths and in yourself and others. So that's the quick overview of the resiliency. Next, I'm going to give a quick overview of the boot camp, what we're looking at doing, and when we're going to do it. All right. All right. It's going to start tomorrow, August 11th. Basically, what I'm going to do is sign up closes at 4:00 on Friday. People that are signed up are going to get a little bit of homework over the weekend. They're going to have to go online and do that survey and then set some goals. That's it. It's going to run 5 weeks. We're going to run a baseline of, our starting point, and it's not going to be focused on P&L or anything like that. That's going to be hopefully that's a byproduct of the boot camp, is that there's an improvement in your trading itself. But what we're looking at here is not the working on the trades themselves, but making all of us better traders. We will have small groups. It's going to be a small group, and we'll break it down into, groups of 2 for some of the exercises and stuff like that. It'll basically just be like a little accountability buddy that you'll have. We'll have our own chat and voice sections that we'll work on the things ourselves. We're going to go over resiliency and how it is applied to trading every day during the week. So we'll have, I'll post in there, hey, today we're going to work on this. Go ahead and do this and that. You'll be able to do it either with us during the trading day or on your own while you're doing your own things in your life. It's not going to be anything that's going to take a large amount of time during the day or anything like that. You're not going to have to work on this for hours on a day or anything like that, because I understand we all have a life. We have family, we have work, we have all that. Homework will be required. Once again, it's not going to be too demanding. It's going to be simple goal setting. You're going to fill out the little worksheet for goal setting, or fill out the worksheet for putting it into perspective or whatever. And then we'll do reviews of the day. You'll write your own little review. You'll write down, in the morning, you'll have a plan of action for that day. What do I want to accomplish today? And you'll write down what was supposed to happen, what actually happened, things that I can sustain and things that I can improve on to make those goals actually happen. If you want to sign up for the boot camp, go ahead and send me a message on Discord, and then I'll sign you up. We'll get you those special roles for those special channels, and then you'll have access to that. And whoever's not in the boot camp won't have access to those channels. All right. All right. What are your questions regarding anything that we covered in this class? Go ahead and type it into Futures Premium or unmute your mic and go ahead and ask. All right. So for the YouTube video, the people watching on YouTube, if you're interested in my resiliency course or my resiliency bootcamp, go ahead and follow the link in my bio. You can follow me on Twitter at YB Investments. And we are in the Moneyline Discord. Go ahead, come find us, join, and talk to me, ask questions about the resiliency. We're all in here trying to teach people how to be better traders and everything like that. So come check us out. We are a group of really good guys and girls, and we are live trading at minimum 3 days a week, and we are putting on classes once a week. So go ahead and come check us out.